Hey, what's up? What's up? Happy Friday. Thank goodness. We used to say TGIF. Glad to be here. Hope y'all are too, even if you're not. We are. So let me just go ahead and get started and bring in the guest host tonight, as always, Artifish, the one and only Dan, the man. Hey, what's up, Dan? We got Big Hat Day
Big
today.
hat night.
Big
Yeah.
Hat Night.
That's right.
Big Hat Night. The reason for this, we're going to go ahead and get started. That first little video is one of our sponsors tonight, and that is Powercore Rods.
Powercore.
That's me,
Best
I'll
rods,
say.
Best rods in the business.
That's right. If you ain't had one, that's your fault.
Yeah.
Nobody else's.
Bad luck got your way.
Uh-huh. Anyway, PowercoreRods.com. Powercore is all one word, by the way. It's not power, capital P, power, capital C, core. It's not separated. It's just Powercore. Rods.com. Boat Ramp 10 gets you 10% off the video, the Core series, CORE series. And anyway, that's that one. And then our always sponsor, first sponsor we had, is the sign behind me. That'd be Kraken Jigs. Sucks to be a fish. KRAKENJIGZ. That's www.KRAKENJIGZ.com. Veteran owned business, helps out veteran groups. Boat Ramp 10, all caps. Get you 10% off his entire store. And, it goes to help veterans. That's all you need to know. I mean, just go buy one thing. It could be, and the video I'm about to play, I'm going to go ahead and play this because he's our sponsor. Let me see how.
I'm a veteran.
You're a veteran? Yes, you are a veteran. Salute, Chris. Here's a little something. Is it going to play? No? We're not going to play? Hold on. Why is it not playing? This is 400 gram jigs. Ooh, this is on our hats, man. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Cracking. We cracking.
Cracking with Crisco, or that's cooking with Crisco? My bad, cooking.
We
can crack it with some crackling. Hey, that's that Louisiana.
Cracking with Crisco.
Little crackling.
On a
some
cracker.
boudin and crackling.
On a cracker.
Yeah, yeah. Damn good show. No, we ain't the Hodge twins.
No.
Yeah, our melanin is not. We got a lot of melanin.
Oh, what?
Melanin. That's a big word. That's a big word of the night.
Here we go.
That's skin tone,
Oh,
Dan.
no.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So also, before we get started, you notice my hat is let's see, EKFT. That's Extreme Kayak Fishing Tournament Company. Mr. Joe Hector, the owner. I think the SummerSlam is on its 12th year, 13th year. I think 09 is maybe when, maybe? I can't remember. Anyway, I have been a part, Powercore has been a part of working with Joe for the last 4 years. Where I built rods for prizes. He has a captain's meeting where he does uh, uh, raffles, and all the proceeds go to a children's hospital. He's given a lot of money away over the years.
Raffle.
Yeah, a raffle. And I just recently, that's why I have Cabbage Shack Artworks also. The last 2 years, I've been doing wood trophies for the tournament winners.
Awesome stuff.
Awesome.
Too. Awesome stuff.
I'm getting better
Oh,
every one.
You're supposed to.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Practice makes perfect.
Perfecting my art, but I will never be perfect.
Well,
yeah, close. At least that's what my mama says.
Of course.
But yeah. So anyway, this upcoming, it's the last tournament of the year. He puts on 4 tournaments. A sailfish, and this is all kayak, sailfish tournament in the ocean. That one's pretty cool. It's just you don't get to see like you do for the summer slams and the peacock bass stuff.
They don't have camera boats out there.
They do. But it's not fed back to the audience. But it's cool. It's the only one of its kind in the country. And people, I think this year came from Oregon or so. I mean, they came from long ways to come fish. But
can't get much further than that.
But the cool thing about this one, you have SummerSlam Part 1, SummerSlam Part 2. And the SummerSlam is they mainly catch kingfish, tuna, mahi, every now and then some wahoo. This SummerSlam Part 1, guy caught a swordfish off a kayak and a jig on a jig rod.
You know, swordfish can be dangerous.
And took him for a ride.
I bet.
Yeah. Anyway, so this one is an Olympic qualifier. The USA has a U.S. saltwater kayak fishing team, and they had their first competition. They won it, but they have contacted Joe. Joe his summer slams are going to be qualifiers for being on the team and getting to go to the Olympics in kayak fishing.
Hey.
So this one, the winner of the SummerSlam Part 2 gets a place on the team and an invitation to Spain to go fish in the tournament. That's pretty cool.
That is cool.
That's cool stuff. Powercore will be there with a booth. Got a lot of the core rods. I may have some saltwater rods. I mean, as far as offshore stuff, maybe.
USA.
Go USA. Anyway, just thought I would share that. My friend Annie Nagel out in California, she is part of the team, and she's mainly the marketing person for social media. I think that's her role, but she has a lot to do with it. You know, if you want to sponsor and all, you have to reach out to her anyway. So, thought that would be interesting to some of y'all that aren't into fishing and just like looking at our lovely faces with the big hat day today. Big hat. And that's why I was wearing the SummerSlam one. This is one of them from the SummerSlam. It's a wahoo tuna. Dan's just got his
Plain.
Plain.
I'm just plain.
He's just plain. Yeah. Anyway, you notice one, and another reason why we're wearing big hats tonight, Dan, is we got some bright ass lights in here. I'm just gonna be honest with you.
Okay, look at my glasses.
and yeah, yeah. So I didn't wear mine, and I had a hard time going to sleep that night, Dan, because my eyes was hurting from the brightness. Thank Don Morris for that. So we're gonna get into it. The episode 17 was, what is your favorite body of water to fish? Okay. And if you didn't understand it, all it meant was we don't need no spots. No. We're just like, what's your favorite lake? If you're a bass guy, what's your favorite lake? If you're a trout, like freshwater trout stream, what's your favorite stream or river to fish? Yeah. Saltwater guys, I mean, we know there's the Gulf, there's the Atlantic. I mean, we wanted you to be a little specific.
Pacific.
Yeah, not the Pacific. I can't talk right anyway.
Be Pacific in the Gulf.
Yeah, but anyway, but like the Big Bend area, the Homosassa. If you're in Florida, Homosassa, Louisiana is Venice, stuff like that. I think surf fishing's big down in Corpus Christi, Texas. Anyway, that's what we were looking for. And most of y'all got it right. We had a few, and know that YouTube, I can say a few things. I mean, we try not to cuss if we can help it. Yeah. But, I will just say that we had a few smart asses in the group.
No.
Yeah, just a few.
Okay.
And I mean, I ain't ever met a fisherman that didn't have some kind of little trash talk and try to be funny. Yeah. So I'm fixing to have to go blind for a second and put on my Papa Color dollar.
Good luck with that.
Yeah. Woo! Oh, sweet Lord. Sweet Lord. Look, the gray beard twins, not Hodge.
What?
Anyway, all right, so I gotta let me find I'll start off first with 10-7 Fishing responded on Instagram. Appreciate you going to the Instagram page and responding. And he said Yankee Town.
Okay.
Which Yankee Town is like Swanee. When I say Swanee, what the crap, Siri? You need to stop. Anyway, when I say Swanee, some just say, oh, the Swanee River. Well, it's where the Swanee dumps in, but I call it Swanee Town. It's down in the Cedar Key, Horseshoe, Crystal River. It's all in that Big Bend area.
My daddy used
to
live in Yankee Town.
Yeah, love that area to fish. Great redfish in the winter on the grass flats between Horseshoe and Steinhatchee. Yes. Dan, you want to, what did you have right there? You want to, since we're talking about 10-7, they're not a sponsor, but y'all need to check them out. They're for first responders. They got proceeds that go to mental health for any first responder. The guy that owns it, he is works for the county, not Highlands, but he works for county department. And he started this, and it's pretty cool merchandise, and it's starting to get out there. That's the snowy grouper, if you didn't know. And anyway, just want to give them a shout out. Go check them out on Instagram. They do a lot on Instagram, and they have a new YouTube channel, 10-7 Fishing YouTube channel. But Want to get to the right off the bat, Dan. Want to get to the smart assness. Is that a word? Smart assness.
Oh yeah,
is it
absolutely a word?
All right, and my good friend that's already called us the bearded twins, not Hodge, not the Hodge twins, the bearded gray bearded.
Gray bearded.
Yeah. I mean, I could post this picture up here, but I'm not going to do it. Not going to do it.
You're not going to stoop down to that level?
No, I'm not. I'm not. Oh, it looks like I got it. I'm sorry. I have it always saved, and then it jumps to something else when I click back over. So let me get to it. And we're going to start off with Mr. Morse.
Mr. Morse.
Mr. Don Morse. Mr. He's the man. We've been friends for a while. But he starts off, Dan, with coordinates.
Coordinates.
Yeah, coordinates.
Did you look them up?
I did, but I laughed first.
Yeah.
I said, "Now that's funny."
Mm-hmm.
He said,
"You thought he was giving you some secret?"
Yeah. Spot? So I thought he gave me a little secret spot. Yeah. Somewhere in Orlando, a little canal up there or something.
Something good.
And he texts me and goes, "Did you look it up?" And I was like, "No, I just thought it was funny because you put coordinates."
Thought you was being on the level.
Yeah. I thought he was, being serious.
Yeah.
Well, that turned out to be wrong.
Okay.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I looked up the coordinates, Dan.
And where are they at?
At my house in the backyard.
Now listen, I have been there. Okay, I've been there numerous times. There is no water in his backyard.
Well, the only place there is a trash can that is filled up with water. That's about it.
And probably mosquito larvae.
Yes, a lot of it.
All right.
Yeah. So appreciate that, Dan. That was funny.
Yeah.
I mean, Don. Dan, Don.
Yeah,
same thing.
I get called Don sometimes.
Yeah. All right. So the next one, Mr. Brad Studeville. He's the timeless barber. Got that long grayish beard. And it's more dark. He's a little younger than us. But he's a big kayak fly fisherman and kayak fisherman.
Couple of years younger.
A few. But anyway, he says number one, SoFlo Lakes. That'd be South Florida for you people north of
Highlands County.
Yeah, north of Highlands County. South Florida lakes and canals for exotics. Close to is the backcountry junior tarpon, both on fly. Okay. So I know there's some places in Chokoloskee that some of my captains have that you can go there at certain times of the day, like 9-10 o'clock. It's just like you can sit back and it's like an acrobatic circus. Just little 30-40 pound tarpon just jumping. And they're fun. On light tackle, 8 to 15 pound medium heavy. Oh yeah. Fun. Or fly rod.
I hooked some down in the Keys like that.
Mm-hmm. And then we come to, the coordinates was that was just fun. That was funny.
Yeah.
Really wasn't. He didn't really say anything, but he came in at the end.
What are you gonna do if a whole lot of people show up in your backyard now?
We're gonna have fish fry. Fish fry. Maybe some oxtail, but no feet. We ain't eating feet. We ain't eating feet.
No way.
Ain't adding it.
We know where they've been.
All right. Dadgummit. All right. So the next one, my buddy. I will say he all my hashtags on Instagram, he made all those for me. He said, "Man, you ain't getting a lot of feedback." He said, "I help people do that." And he made some up and sent them to me, and I use them all the time, and I appreciate that.
You getting a lot of feedback now?
Yeah, a little bit, a little bit better than what it was, but I don't know if this statement cancels that out because
what do we got?
Juan says for his favorite place to fish. Okay. I tend to fish only in water. This has produced the most results for me.
Well, you know what? I've always figured that it's a really good plan when you plan to go fishing.
Yes.
If you plan to go in the water,
Yes.
that's usually the best place to go.
You know what? I think you're right.
I know I'm right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That was kind of he gave a wink and a okay, but
All right.
if he'd have gave the shock of hand, I might have, let it slide, not say nothing smart assness going on right there.
Yeah.
That's some South Florida smart assness.
Smart-assness,
Yeah. My man Brandon Carr always, I don't even know how to give like top fans or whatever. I don't know if he watches this, but he'll comment on the, anyway, he said the Gulf of America, of course.
I don't know how to. I don't know what to say. It's got to be the Gulf of Mexico.
Yeah, it's the Gulf of
It's got to
Mexico.
be.
Yeah,
Because that's the only Gulf we got in America.
yeah.
All right. And it's big.
I mean, does it turn in? Is it like Gulf of America and then it turns into Gulf of Mexico?
And just
Like so
just-
many,
just-
like once you get the middle grounds, is that where it turns into Gulf of Mexico or
that's like Texas over there.
middle grounds?
Yeah.
Well, it's like 90 miles off of Steinhatchee, maybe.
But just anywhere.
Yeah, he said anywhere.
Anywhere.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway. Um. So, hey, yours truly, the host, commented. I did.
You did?
Yeah, I'm gonna give my personal opinion
All
on
right.
it.
Let's have it. What is it?
So, what I wrote, personally for me, of course, I started off a brim fisherman, but my granddad got me into saltwater and mangrove snapper. We discussed that like on episode.
And there's one right up
Yeah,
there.
right up there above my large hat.
Yeah.
Saltwater inshore is from Chuckaluskee all the way to Louisiana on the Gulf side.
Yeah.
Well, on that west side, to me, the redfish trout. Now, don't get me wrong, Mosquito Lagoon, places like that, you can catch them, and up Saint Jacksonville way where the big bull reds are because of that, St. John's River. But for the most part, the reds and trout and snook and tarpon, just that whole Gulf, Big Bend, all the way up. I mean, I know, but at least I was specific. I didn't just say the whole Gulf of America.
Did you say specific or Pacific?
I probably said Pacific.
No, I think you said specific.
Okay, all right, I said it right.
Pacific.
Okay. Offshore from Stewart down to Isla Morada. That's Stewart. Now, don't get me wrong. There's some fishing up in Jacksonville and all them, but far as putting meat in the freezer, I just like the East Coast, basically South Florida East Coast, for offshore. Bass, I'm going with Istapoga.
Yeah.
And that would be the lake that Dan is on right now.
That's right outside.
Outside the door. Some big lunkers in there, and we tear the crappie up when we can in the winter.
That's coming.
Which that's only like what a couple of weeks of cold.
Yeah. Whatever that is.
Yeah. And Logan Martin in Alabama. I fished Gunnersville, and I know Gunnersville's, I don't want to hear it from anybody, but I like Logan Martin. It's a little bit smaller. Of course, when you talk about lakes in Alabama, which their own dam system and the rivers.
Hey, what's your language?
Yeah. And but when you talk about lakes down here in Florida. You got Lake Okeechobee. Everybody knows where the big, even if you're from up north, if you say, the big round lake in the middle of Florida,
Big O.
Big O. But most of the lakes down here are just lakes. They're, just round or got a little something to them. I mean, you got the river. Anyway, up there, like Logan Martin has 450 miles of shoreline. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Lake Martin.
That's a long walk.
Lake Martin is 750 miles. That means you can go from Pensacola all the way down to the Keys and halfway back up Florida on the East Coast is 750 miles of shoreline.
You probably couldn't fish that in a day.
No. Logan Martin, at one time, they had the Bassmaster Classics there twice. One of the guys, I was living up there at the time, and one of the guys won it on the Zebco 808, won big bass and everything. You know how many Zebco 808s were sold that year? A bunch.
I bet.
Anyway, I just like Logan Martin. It's a simpler lake to fish. That was just me. I fished all of them up there, and I know all that stuff, but I just like Logan Martin.
Is that a reservoir?
Well, all the lakes up there are mainly rivers with dams.
Like 100, 200 feet deep, something?
I never asked. I never looked. Yeah, I don't know, probably. I know it's deep down by the dam. The dam road. The dam road.
TV.
And for peacock bass or exotics, basically from Delray down to Pembroke Pines. Mm-hmm. That's my areas I like to fish.
Been there, done that.
And then we end it, Dan, with Mr. Coordinates himself, the bearded. Oh, one of his nicknames, the bearded Yoda. The bearded Yoda.
He's calling us Gray Beard.
Yeah. Oh, Anyway.
All right.
He's got a cut on us a little bit, but he says wherever there are fish in the water.
Give us a break.
Thanks, Don, for the laughs.
Hey, we can all plan that trip.
Yeah. So hey, Dan, what? We have participation again. Precipitation. Yeah. Okay. Pacific.
On the Pacific.
On the Pacific side. Yeah. So what's your favorite place?
Saltwater, freshwater.
Freshwater, I know right here.
Freshwater, right outside.
Right outside.
Yeah.
Saltwater.
Saltwater, I like the Inglewood area.
Okay.
Yeah. Down around Port Charlotte, in there.
Boca Grande.
Alligator Creek.
Yeah.
All that in there.
Boca Grande, Big Tarpon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Good sandbar. Good sandbar there.
Good sandbar,
yeah.
Fun, yeah.
Yeah. Well, you got to stop off for fun after you had a good day of fishing. Put that power pole out and get you a lawn chair in the water.
One or two cold beers.
One or two?
Yeah.
Or 3, 4?
Dozen.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. What where else would you say?
Man, I've been fishing all over the state of Florida. Used to fish up around St. Augustine.
Yeah.
Crescent Beach, the Rocks, they call them. All down towards Stewart, down through the Keys, Chokoloskee, 10,000 Islands, Fort Myers, Fort Charlotte, Inglewood, all the way up to Hernando. And Hernando, the bottom drops an average foot per mile as you go out.
Really?
Up around Hernando.
A foot per mile.
So you go out 12 miles, you're in about 12 feet of water.
Okay.
But once you get out there, the sea bass, mackerel is unbelievable. But that's about the extent. I've done some fishing up in Missouri and for smallmouth and stuff like that. But I'm a Florida boy, so that's pretty much my areas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was? I forget. I mean, I did like when I lived in Alabama for a while. I did like fishing Dolphin Island.
I fished there.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And there, especially flounder gigging.
We flounder gigged out
Flounder gig Morgan. What was it? Fort Morgan. Fort Morgan. Wasn't that what it was? Fort Morgan.
I don't ring a bell. But
There's a fort something there.
We tore the flounders up one night, and we were out there off the causeway, and we heard a boat, a trailer going down the road, the chains rattling.
Yeah.
And I said, listen to that. Somebody forgot to hook their chains up. You can hear them bouncing off the road. We got back to the boat ramp.
It was y'all's boat.
It was my trailer. It was gone.
I'm laughing now. It wasn't funny then.
It wasn't funny then.
Yeah.
We had to load that boat up in the back of my truck.
Man, sorry people.
Never did find that trailer.
My buddy used to rent a house on Dolphin Island. Or it was a duplex. He rented the whole thing, but rented one side out to somebody else. You walked out his living room and you're on the dock and his boat's sitting there, and you just rode like maybe a mile and a half, and there was a old rig out there. Man, you could just go around that thing all day and catch everything. I mean, that was good times. Good times there. Anyway, I mean, we're getting participation. Yeah. But we would like for one of y'all to give us a topic to talk about.
Yeah.
Something you think might be funny. Something you think you'd like to hear people's answers on. I mean, it would help. I mean, we don't mind thinking these things up, but every now and then a little more participation would be cool. Yeah. You know, you can comment on Facebook. You can send us a email. That's theboatramp24@gmail.com and put in the subject line 2Guys1Dock so we know what it's for, because I started another podcast. The Boat Ramp started another one called Beyond the Ramp, and Thursday nights is with the Cowboy Preacher,
the one
and only Cowboy Preacher. Yeah. That would be my dad. It's talking about worldly subjects, and then him talking about what the Bible says about it. And Thursday, last night was just kind of introduction, kind of just shooting the bull. But we are pretty soon. I mean, since election season, I know he told me that Proverbs, Ecclesiastes is like a book to live your life by, and he says it says in there how to handle politicians.
Ooh, we all need to read that.
So I said, well, hey, that might be a good subject right now. Mm-hmm. So anyway, it'd be cool because I don't know what it says. You know, preachers' kids ain't supposed to know. That's one of them excuses we can use.
They are the worst.
We are the worst. I was at one time, not so much now. I had some issues.
I don't know, so.
Yeah. 55 mile per hour. 10 hours. Y'all don't know nothing about 10 hours. Y'all get them 10 hours?
Or flip flop.
Or the flip flop races. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I think that's it. But I mean, come on. Somebody just come up with a subject this week.
Yeah.
It'd be nice.
Yeah.
Have a little participation.
No precipitation.
I mean, you know, we only get like 23 views, but hey, we can shout your name out that you were the one.
Twinkle, twinkle.
Twinkle, twinkle, baby. Don't hate. Participate.
Twinkle, twinkle.
Twinkle, twinkle.
Yeah.
All right. So that's it for tonight. Hope y'all have a great weekend.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I got rods to do and rods to drop off, and I'm just gonna be working in the shop with my Defender Eco X gear that's loud as crap still.
And watch out for all the people that's gonna show up in your yard with
Oh
fishing
yeah.
boat.
Yeah, y'all don't look at
Yeah.
them coordinates.
Yeah.
Unless y'all bringing food.
That would work.
That would work. Just let me know when you're coming. I'll put the grill on.
Yeah, right.
We'll do something. Anyway, all right. Y'all have a good weekend. Appreciate y'all. Participate later.
Peace.